Tough weekend this weekend. Friday night's game, Steven pitched one heck of a game. Probably the best game I've seen him pitch here. We won 1-0. He did everything you have to do to get outs. I mean, he was in some tough jams, and he was able to make pitches, get us out of trouble. Complete game, 14 strikeouts, but me describing it gives no justice to how good a performance it was Friday night. I mean, he did. He got strikeouts when he needed them. He got outs when he needed them. He made pitches. Friday's game was, I think, his best game. Saturday's game, we got blown out. They hit the ball very well. Sunday's game was a game we feel like we could have won. We had opportunities to win. Couldn't get that big hit. And so we go there, we lose 2-3, which really puts some big importance on this weekend's games against TCU. We're sitting in fourth place in the conference at 9-6, and we're going to need to play well here coming down the stretch. But I've said all along, I like this club. I think we've got a chance to be pretty good, and getting contributions from a lot of different guys, and we got to turn it up a notch here coming down the stretch. But exciting series in New Mexico. I mean, either team could have won yesterday's game, and obviously they did, but we were right there in the thick of it.
Tony, you just said that you like this club. I remember you saying that during the '98 season with the Padres. It's the same type of feeling you're getting that this team could be a team that's different from the first 5 seasons that we've had been coaching.
Yeah, and I've talked to them about that too. It's just college baseball is a lot different than professional baseball because these guys got so many other things on their mind other than baseball. And when you get out there on the field, it's about execution, and that's kind of where we lacked a little bit this weekend. We had opportunities, we just couldn't execute and get it done. And for the most part, this team has done a really good job of that all year long. But you're coming down the stretch. I mean, every coach in the country right now is peering through all the other conferences and seeing what the records are and looking at RPIs, and you're trying to figure exactly where your club fits. And I think if we play well coming down the stretch, we got a good chance of going to the postseason. That's what we would like the opportunity to do. But we're going to have to execute a whole lot better to get there.
You guys are still in the rankings. You dipped the spot in the rankings. I know how most coaches feel about rankings. Can they be a distraction to the team, and are the rankings?
I don't think so. I think everybody knows where we are. They know, that we've played pretty good baseball this year. But you got to get to the postseason in order for it to mean anything. And so in that sense, I think that's good. I think people look at our club and they like our club and they like what we've done. But it's about winning games. That's what it really boils down to. You have to beat people. And we played a competitive schedule this year, but we played competitive schedules every year I've been here. And if you're not beating people, it's not going to do you any good. So, the rankings are great for recruiting and for other people to look at your program and say, oh, they're making progress, because I've heard that a whole lot this year. But the bottom line is you want to go to postseason. You can't have a chance to win a ring unless you get there. And so, that's the goal. We got to try to get there.
Tuesday and Friday, you guys are on TV.
Woo, big deal. Woo, we're on TV. All right.
Would you rather not be on TV and not be
it doesn't matter. I mean, again, the guy sitting next to me, I think, is a big reason why we're getting the opportunity. But when you have a guy on your team the magnitude of a Steven Strasburg, people want to know. They want to see. They want to see for themselves. And so I'm glad Friday's game is on TV, so they'll get a chance to see him do his thing. But more importantly, you got to win. You got to win. You got to beat people, like I said. And so the fact that we're on TV remains to be seen how guys react to that. To me, it's about the baseball. It's about going out there and executing and doing the things we plan to do. If it helps that other people get a chance to see us play, then great. But these 56 games have been scheduled for a couple of years now, and to me, it's about going out there and playing good baseball.
Can the TV thing be a distraction for the players who aren't used to it? Football players just about all their games are televised. The baseball team is kind of a unique thing that's going to be televised.
Yeah, it could be, but I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let it.
You'll have some struggle.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what about exposure for the program? I know for football, TV is big.
Yeah.
For recruiting purposes. Is there the same thing in baseball?
It is the same thing in baseball, where having an opportunity to be seen, all over the country. In Friday's game's case, I think is a good thing. We're getting a lot more mail than we've ever gotten, a lot more phone calls than we've ever gotten, and Steven's a part of that too. But kids, when you recruit them, they want to win. They want to go to a program where they feel like they got a chance to win and get to the postseason, get to the College World Series. That's the number one thing. So the fact that we're on TV must mean we're winning. We're doing okay. So that's a good thing. I think as the 7 years that I've been here, I can't remember college baseball being much bigger than it is right now. The attention that we get wherever we go on the road, again, it's been unbelievable. And it's only good, really, if you're beating people, because that's what the kids. I mean, going to New Mexico this weekend, there were more high school age kids at the college game than I've ever seen, and they're all peering in our dugout, looking, which one's the guy that throws 102? That's that you get that when you have a guy like a Steven Strasburg. You get that, and there's no question we're trying to take advantage of that too. But you got to win games, because that's what they remember if you win it.
They're no longer looking into the dugout trying to find out which guy's the Hall.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? That's great for me. I still get mine too, but that's going to kind of wear off. I get a lot of kids come to the dugout wanting an autograph because their parents sent them over to get them. They have no idea who I am, and so and I knew that was going to happen too. So, like I said, it's a great time right now to be San Diego State baseball, be a part of this program, because we got the best player in the country here, and so that's going to bring you attention. But winning is what is going to bring you more attention too. So that's where the focus is. We're trying to win as many games as we can.
Coach, the New Mexico head coach Ray Birmingham said after Friday's game that he thinks Strasburg needs to work on his demeanor a little bit. He even said where he's going, he's got to be able to control those emotions. He might as well try and start controlling them now. Do you see that at all? What is that?
That's frustration from getting beat, is what that was. And the thing about Coach Birmingham, I understand him. He's trying to keep his kids positive. He's trying to, because when you have all the hype that Steven's getting, your job is to keep your team believing in that they can win. And if your team believes all the hype, then they're not going to have much of a chance to win. But I will say that a lot of this was brought about because he popped off earlier in the week about some stuff that he had no idea about. He had never seen Steven pitch. And he said some things in their press conference last week that, I was kind of hoping Steven didn't get to hear, but he did, and that's the reaction that he got was, hey, you know what? You say I need to do this, this, and this. Well, here's 14 for you, and here's shutting you down 1-0. And I know I'm speaking for you, Steven, but he pitched with there was some fire. There was no question. Friday night he was focused on going out there and letting them know, that he was the real deal. So, I don't really worry about what other people say. They just take care of your club. I'll take care of mine.
Steven, you were kind of laughing at that. What is your reaction to something like that?
First off, anything that another coach says about me doesn't bother me. And, bottom line is, if you're facing a classy team like TCU, obviously, you want to represent, your team the best way, and you don't want to show up the other team. But if the other team's gonna, kind of slap you in the face, you really have to stick up for yourself, and you can't just back down. And I was fired up that game. It was a big game for us, and I guess if I showed a little too emotion, I apologize. But I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a fist pump after striking out the last guy.
Have you kind of seen that on the road at all, or even at home? Do you kind of get those detractors and those guys that say, well, he does this wrong and he does that wrong?
There's always going to be critics. There's always going to be somebody who's going to have their say. What you need to work on, and that's great and everything. But all I look for is what Coach Gwynn and Coach Filter have to tell me, and what I need to improve on. Everything else, just goes through one ear and out the other.
Does something like that add a little more to that basketball?
No, not really. I mean, that was just a big game. That was to decide who was going to move into first place. And, New Mexico had a good club. I knew they were going to come there and, be ready to play. And, I just went out there and I want to try and keep the team in the ball game as long as I could.
Well said.
Stephen, your thoughts about rankings and TV being a distraction for the guys on the team? Are those a distraction, or are you guys mentally sound enough where those things don't really come into play?
I think by now, we're all out for the same goal. We want to win a conference tournament. We want to get to a regional, and all that stuff's great. It gives this program attention, but bottom line, you have to go out there and win between the lines.
Any idea what Coach Gwynn might say to keep you guys from getting distracted by having the game televised?
I really think that all the guys know what we need to do to go out there and win a ball game. So it really doesn't matter whether the game's televised or not. Every single game coming down the stretch here is huge for us. So I think we just need to clean up our game a little bit and just be ready to play.
And Tony, your thoughts? I understand that the state's getting to host the 2010 and 11 conference tournament. Your thoughts about that?
We're really excited about that. We haven't hosted, I think, since 2000, I believe it is. And it's a big advantage having a conference tournament in your ballpark. And our people here at San Diego State have worked really hard on putting a proposal together. And, we found out that we're hosting the next couple of years. So, when we're getting on a plane going to TCU for the conference tournament this year, there'll be a big smile on my face. I know, because the next 2 years we don't have to. That's a huge, huge piece of college baseball, is being able to host your conference tournament. And we are excited as everything to have it. And we're going to look forward to being a quality host, too. And so it'll be exciting. And the conference has just made tremendous strides in baseball. I mean, if you look at the rankings, you look at the RPI numbers, there's you could probably make a legitimate case this year for 14 from our conference getting to the regional. Now, we don't know if that's going to happen, and I'm not counting on it happening. And so we're going to go out and try to win as many games as we can. But the conference it's been tremendous. It's really been exciting to be a part of seeing a conference grow to where it's gotten. I mean, you look at football this year, you look at basketball this year, now in baseball, the conference is really letting people across the country know that, we're bringing it to the table. We're going to bring it. And baseball's been no different. Everybody in the conference has upgraded schedules, played quality teams, and this year, for the first time in a long time, a lot of Mountain West Conference teams are winning games. And that's, what we set out to do 3 years ago when we sat down and talked about how can we improve our conference in baseball. I think this year is the first year where multiple teams are doing that, and it's really been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Got to be almost the biggest piece of your season right here.
Well, it's turned out that way. I think TCU, no question, they're a quality club. I believe they're 23, 24, and 11 right now. They're ranked 21st or 22nd. They've got a quality club. They've won our conference every year they've been in it, and so. You have to play your best baseball to beat them. They're balanced. They've got good pitching. They play good defense. They're a veteran team with a lot of juniors and seniors. And so no question it's going to be a test this weekend. But I'll worry about that a little bit later on in the week. We've got Long Beach State tomorrow, and that game is just as important. And Long Beach State has been a team that we've had all kind of trouble with. And we beat them earlier in the year. And we're going to have to try to figure out a way to beat them tomorrow night. But TCU, no question, quality club.